Hello, my name is Bradley Parkinson, and in this video I will be speaking to you about the management of safety issues in the woodwork classroom. In the article that I have chosen, there was a lot of information about how the use of safety equipment and strategies has changed over time. For example, back in the 1960s, the safety requirements and procedures were much more lenient than what they are today. Today, the safety management system that is implemented within Australian schools has been refined so that risks can be minimized. The use of PPE or personal protective equipment has increased significantly in the past 50 years as we are beginning to learn the damage that heavy machinery can cause in the user's later years. Earmuffs, goggles, dust masks, and even gloves in some cases are commonly used within the wood workshop today to prevent injury. The standards for the wood workshop are very similar to that of the actual industry. Workers who actually have a career where they have to use heavy machinery or tools are required to follow the same safety precautions as students in schools today. Correct clothing must be worn to provide as much protection as possible in the case of an accident. For example, when using a drill press, your sleeves must be rolled up to your elbows. The reason why this is because your sleeves become a hazard, which could result in entanglement. Another point I'd like to add is that not only do we need to wear the correct clothing for each machine, but you must also wear the correct PPE for each machine. With a drill press, for example, you must never wear gloves, and goggles must be worn, but earmuffs and dust masks are optional, depending on the job. Correct clothing includes 100% cotton long sleeve shirt and trousers, steel cap boots, and cotton socks. Your shirt must always be tucked in and long hair must be tied back. Students must be taught to be aware of their surroundings at all times, whether it is people around them or the actual machine they are using, noticing changes in the way that the machine functions. These changes can be indicators that there's something wrong, whether the change is a noise or the way the machine works. Always turn the machine off straight away and ask for assistance. I've learnt a lot by doing research on this topic. In the article that I focused on though, I learnt quite a bit about different techniques that a tech teacher can use when working with students and heavy machinery. As a teacher, it is my job to teach the students basic safety practices that are used in the workshop. I must assess where my students are at so that I can appropriately train each student specifically to their level. For example, I start my year off with grade 11 and ask the students if they have done woodwork previously before that year. In this case, I'm in fact assessing them to see who needs an initiation to workshop safety management. Another factor that comes into play when talking about safety management within the workshop is the proper use of machinery. Not only should the students be shown how to avoid being injured, but they also need to be trained to use the machinery. Correct technique is one of the most important safety management strategies that a technology teacher can use. Seriously, if a student knows how to use a machine from scratch, then what can go wrong? All students should also be shown how to react in an emergency. This is vital when entering this subject as it prepares the students for the worst situation. Teaching the students about proper evacuation procedures, emergency exits, stop buttons, kill switches, fire extinguisher locations, and communicating a problem are all great examples of strategies that a teacher can use to prepare their students for working in the workshop. When starting this assignment, I found that it was really hard to settle on one topic, as I liked more than one of them. After a while though, I settled on safety management, as I think that it's important for me as an upcoming teacher to learn a few strategies, which can help me to teach my students how to be safe.